And welcome to our Tier-2 stream for round 5 on the one and only Temple of Speed, Monza. It's a great pleasure to host you all today, and I'm joined by my co-commentator Starmaxlord and our beloved streamer Kapil. Hello guys, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you, mate?
Yep, all good. So we saw a couple of days back how chaotic our Tier X, the Xbox Boys stream was. We had lots of stuff and, of course, really hot-headed people in the report section, definitely in our Discord server. If you want to see that, hop in. You will get to see some really spicy stuff on the reports. And what do you reckon, Starmax? You are the one who has driven on both Xbox and PC. So, what do you think? Is there going to be any major difference? We saw Aerodev putting in a blistering time day before 120 flats. Do you reckon that can be beaten air?
I mean, definitely there's going to be some blistering fights, some heart crunching fights, and some very fast times. So we'll have to see what Tier 2 people will do to keep up and see if they can keep up with Tier X people, I guess.
Yes, definitely. Tier 2 proved to be a really interesting and close competition last season. And of course, this has continued for every tier this time around. Tier X, Tier 4, which although we don't stream but runs parallel to our Tier 2. And of course, we have our Tier 1 and Tier 3 drivers as well. So let's not waste much time and switch over to our track video.
As we run the Parabolica, we go to start-finish straight. We'll be topping out at 340 kilometers an hour before the first chicane. After that, we go across the Curva Grande before coming up the second chicane. We have to be very careful to not mount the curbs there, or else we'll fly. After that is Lesbon 1 and 2 before the last
to a
DRS
lap
straight.
of Monza, also known as the Temple of Speed, and rightfully so, as you're hurtling down the main straight at 340 k's. Watch out for the DRS board on the left-hand side to activate it. Now, braking just before the 100-meter board, you want to be keeping the minimum speed high and getting a better exit, but make sure you don't get too adventurous on those curves, as they will unsettle your car. In fact, don't touch them at all. Now hug the inside of Curb de Grande to minimize the distance travel to the next braking zone. Now preparing for the Della Roja chicane, you want to brake just at the 100-meter board, again avoiding both these curves as they will unsettle your car. Short shifting on exit to get the better traction. Through the first Lesmo, flick the car in, make sure your minimum speed is high as well. Second one, same approach, but you want to focus on the exit as well, as is a straight proceeding it. Now watch out for the DRS board again to activate it for the extra Ks. Brake bias down to 50 here, because you will need to flick the car in, braking just at the 100-meter board, flicking the car in, using all the curbs on both sides of this Scotty chicane. Make sure you don't get too adventurous on them, as they will unsettle your car, especially on heavier race fuel loads. Now preparing for Parabolica, you want to watch out for the 50-meter board on the left-hand side. Flick the car in, make sure you get a great exit, hug the inside to minimize your distance travel to the line, and that completes a lap of this brilliant circuit.
So yeah, that was a really blistering lap from our very own Tier 1 driver Moto. And the exit out of these dangerous chicanes, I would say, where lots of people are known to donate their front wings. What do you reckon, Shamax?
I reckon there'll definitely be some front wing selected. And let's hope it doesn't hamper too many people, I guess. And let's certainly hope no one loses their rear wing.
Yeah, true.
Especially at Ascari, because one mistake and a car can split 180 and you can actually damage your rear wing.
Yes, absolutely. And as we see, we are live into a quali session, and the weather forecast predicts that it's going to be pretty dry. And as we see a Ferrari of Shawshank just yeeting himself into the wall coming out of the Scary chicane, we were just talking about that, and that means that's a DNF for him straight away.
From what I see, 3 people have already DNF.
Yeah, that's interesting. Unleashed and RB Ferrella as well.
Who's leading the championship right now, actually.
Yeah, that's quite unlucky for them. That's a really interesting way to start the things. And there should be a couple of more drivers joining. I hope so. If not in attendance.
If this is how quality goes, imagine how it will be in the race.
Yeah, of course,
Oh,
because Skari is that part of the track where everyone's tries to accelerate just as soon as you are through the second part, the right hander onto the left hander. So it's because of course these cars have really higher downforce. Maybe they'll gear it towards a bit of straight speed for this track, but again, people try to be a bit too eager at the exit of a Skari, and that's where they sort of get loosey goosey and just lose it completely.
yeah, as we saw SSJ invalidating there at the exit of Ascari. What a shame.
Yeah, it's a really iconic track to say the least. The two chicanes, and of course, Ascari. It's really, this track doesn't have too many corners, but the corners are definitely iconic. So let's stay on board with the Williams of Montero. It was, I think, it was just starting a hot lap. Yep. So, yeah, we are on board Montero, and as we see him starting his hot lap, going towards the first chicane, the Variante del Retifilio, and we break just about 150-meter board, takes the first curve nicely, inside curve on the left too, and gets a nice exit. No wheel spin for him. On to Curva Grande, the fast right-hander, turn 3 of this track, and onto the next famous chicane, De La Roggia, and gets it done nicely, clips the both curves easily, and no wheel spin, no going on the grass, and no invalidation. On to Lismo 1, coming across now to Lismo 2, two fast right-handers, and again he's clipping it really clean, and we go on to the back straight, and on to the famous Ascari chicane now. Let's see if he can keep it together on the exit. Yes, he does. Yeah, right now on 105. Of course, two yellow sectors, so he'll be looking at his ERS. Don't think he has enough in the bank to continue for another lap to maximize his stint. Yep, he's going into the pits. That's a shame. On to BK19. Coming across the first sector, 300ths of a second off. Goes on the grass, dips his left wheel onto the grass, coming out of De La Roggia. And yeah, on to Lismo 1.
I think he aborted, did he?
Yeah, looks like he aborted.
Because he took a really bad entry onto that. It's rather unusual.
Yeah, true. So looks like we might be running into some lobby issues. So stay tuned with us. We will definitely give you some more info and see how it turns out. Looks like some, joining issue coming back to bite him. So don't really know what to say. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting season. At least the testing sessions were quite close. We'll of course now move to Bahrain for the proper second round of testing, which will be streamed. So I believe we'll get a much better look on the cars. Not much sandbagging, I believe, there. We'll see some of the faster drivers, and of course, let's see how Fittipaldi, if he's the one who is covering up for Mazepin this season, how he performs.
Has it been announced already, or is it?
I'm sorry?
Has Fittipaldi already been announced?
Yeah, strong rumors regarding him
yeah, strong
being the
rumors,
driver. Yeah, strong rumors regarding him being the driver to cover Mazepin. Yeah, of course, that seat. Okay, no comments. I'll just keep it to that to myself. But yeah, Haas, of course, we know that they didn't do much of their development work for 2021 season. They were straightforward aiming for the new regs in 2022. So I have decent hopes from them. And as we see, sorry to just forget about it, we are back with our quali session. 8 minutes to go, and we have Aditya in the AlphaTauri, currently P1 with a time of 120.6, followed by Paras, a mobile guy, on 121.1.
I'll have to say, 129 is a blistering lap, and he said that so long ago. That on a cold track is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, and these guys are definitely, coming on par with the Tier-1.
That lap is only a second off of Moto's hot lap, which is done in time trial.
Yep.
Wow.
Of course, our viewers time trial, everything is just in perfect mint condition for you. Qualifying right here where track evolution plays a big part. And of course, Aditya has really sort of put himself in a really, really strong position. Montero goes the second driver to go into 120s. He puts in a 120.9 and followed by a B20 who also goes into 129s. And right now Aditya is approximately 3/10 clear of the next best person.
Fine, finishing a pretty strong lap. Let's see where he ends up. He ends up in 5th. Not bad.
Yeah, 121 for him. Yellow sector 3 for him. So he definitely has time to improve. SSJ seems to be on his. That's Aditya again. So yeah, SSJ was on his outlap as well. BK19 on his outlap. And Aditya has put in a personal best sector 2. Let's see if he can improve his time.
I think I saw plus 1.5 on his time. Oh, I was wrong.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
Oh man, that's. I think he really nailed the sector 2 there because he had 2 yellow sector 1 and 3. So
Yeah.
again, he puts in another best. Not improving by much, but again, 600ths is a great sort of improvement for F1 time standards. And as we see BK19 going on a flying lap onto the first chicane, mounts the curb a bit heavily on either side, and yeah, aborts his lap.
I think he still thinks he's playing 2020.
Yeah. On board Heisenberg, a green sector 1 for him and a yellow sector 2. And he should be getting his time into 121s. At least he hopes he should. And of course, we have 4 DNFs right now: Unleashed, Streeter, Shawshank, and Adi Ferrello.
A yellow middle sector is rather unusual when he's setting his lap on softs. When his delta was on mediums.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for the hiccup on the stream. It will be fixed immediately. Oh, it's back now.
Yep, we should be fine now.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, sorting some telemetry stuff. So be tuned, guys. So currently we have Aditya on P1 with a time of 120.633. And coming, let's sort of rewind back to our IRL F1 talks maybe. We have Ink in the chat saying Jehan should join. Of course, man, that would be great for the Indian F1 scene.
That would be good, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had an Indian driver in ages representing.
Have you ever had one in F1?
Narayan Karthikeyan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. My mind. Narayan Karthikeyan.
All right, chat. I'm going to kick this guy out of here. No mercy for him. So,
tell me, Kake, where do you think is the best place to start in Monza? First or second? Because if you're starting in second, you can just send one down the inside and the guy in first will somewhat be forced to give you space.
Yeah, absolutely. I think P2 is a really strong position to start. Albeit it's important to know you can't predict what the guys behind P3 and P4 will do, because that's where a lot of races are ruined in Monza.
Yeah.
The guys behind just don't brake quickly enough in anticipation of what's going to happen ahead, and you have broken front wings, safety cars, VSCs and whatnot. So yeah, but overall I think P2 is, I would say, is a better position to start. And of course, if P1 guy gets a better start of the line, you can just slot him behind him and use that slipstream to your advantage.
I would say midfield is a pretty... you wouldn't want to start in midfield, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you have to be absolutely alert on your senses, activate that sixth sense. As we see a bit of scramble going on towards the finishing line, few people on their out laps and few people starting their hot laps right now. So still, as the situation stands, Aditya is still on pole position, followed by a B20, and then we have Montero, the 3 drivers currently in 120s.
Can we go about a B? I think he might be trying to do a double hot lap.
He's not doing much of his IRC, so I think he'll be going once again. So he would.
Yeah, he's definitely on a hot lap.
It's
a 10th up in his first sector, takes that nicely onto the Lesmos. He does take it very nicely with a good exit using all the curves. Breaks again at the 50-meter board, cuts in nicely and takes a really good exit. Turns on DRS on time. goes down the second DRS and the last DRS straight. So he has to be ready to brake hard and flip the car in. He goes left, right, and left. Be careful on the curb, hit the curb, take a good exit, and come down this long straight. You have a lot of time to think about what do you want to do for Parabolica because it's very, very important. So he brakes pretty late. I'm guessing he's going to cut back in to take the shortest line to the finish line. Oh no, it takes a rather wide line actually.
Yeah, he stayed really wide. Looks like that lost him like quite some time. I think he
Yeah.
should have, brake slightly earlier and, stick closer to the racing line.
Yeah, that was because his first sector was pretty good. To gain a whole 10th in the first sector, that's pretty good. I think that makes me think that he might have a bit more time to gain in the first chicane, I guess, because that's realistic. The only place he can gain time at for first sector.
Sector 1 is just literal full throttle apart from the first chicane. So, yeah. And as we are on board the other Abhi 20, the one driving the Haas, which still sports the Roll Kali sponsorship. Interesting codies. Let's see when they pull the trigger. And Montero goes pole position, 120.5. Damn, that's fast.
That is fast. Tier 2 has some proper pace. That begs the question: what pace will Tier 1 bring tomorrow?
Your position looks to be in danger, Starmax. The pace these guys are performing.
I am going to be downgraded next season. See ya. Also, the rumored cross-platform. You can see if that is true, you can expect some fast Xbox people to come in.
He aborts his lap for some reason, letting his teammate go BK19. Probably giving a bit of a tow if BK19 was on his hot lap. And looks like BK19 is sort of trying to return the favor. I'm not sure what's happening right now between us guys.
There's too much of a gap to do it, I think.
Yeah, too much gap. Yep.
I think it's just the power trip inside. I don't know what happened there. Or did he just do that because he wasn't improving and he doesn't want to give slipstream? But that's a really late place to pull out also. It's rather unusual, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you really compromise your full straight if you back out there.
Quali is over, so the last person to start a lap is Paras.
Yeah, looks like it's Paras who is.
No, I don't think
is that
Heisenberg manages. From what I saw, Heisenberg crossed line after the timer is 0. He could have been desync. Technically, he shouldn't be on the lap, but he's desync. So we'll see, I guess, later.
Yeah, so on what Paras has put in personal best sector 1. Let's see how he ends up at sector 2, rounding off now to a Scary chicane, and he is almost 2/10 up. And really, and again, the Haas boys, looks like some tow going on. Alfa Romeo and Haas guys just there together on the back straight. And it's Faizan rounding off the final corner. He also goes a bit for the wider line, now cuts back in on the straight. And he goes P3. That's a nice lap, and that's a really slow Haas compromising Paras. But Paras says no you and goes P3.
Oh no.
120.6.
His lap. Paras' lap was 200ths down second place. Could that Haas have compromised Paras of 200ths?
Might be possible. That was, I think, BK19 because Abhi retired on the back straight, I think.
No. When retired, he can actually be going very slowly, so it could have been that. I think someone will report Abhi for retiring on the track if he did so.
Yeah, it was definitely Haas, and of course Abhi retired as well. So yeah, as the things stand, I don't think any of the other drivers on the hot lap, just putting in some practice laps. So looks like we have Montero who will be starting on pole with a time of 120.5, followed by Aditya, and of course we'll be having the timesheets coming up soon to give you a detailed break of what's happening and who will start where on this beautiful track. So yeah, right here as we see, we have Montero with the fastest lap of 120.5, followed by Aditya in the AlphaTauri 120.6. Paras just 700ths of a second down, and the game shows a 5 position penalty. I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Will Paras be trying to get that removed in a way?
P, but nonetheless, we have Faizan P4 followed by Abhi 20, and then we have Heisenberg, and of course the other drivers, and we had four uh, sort of people who DNF'd. And of course, since we'll be going in for a short, let's say, a segue to our sponsors, so why not cue that? Yes, as we wait for the players to load into the lobby, we are in for a thrilling race on Monza. As I mentioned earlier, we saw the TRX boys fighting it out, and let's see how it goes for our Tier 2 boys. So, of course, for people in the chat, we have a bingo bongo sessions going on, and we for new joinees and new viewers, you can of course head over to a special website we have sort of linked with. You can check out our announcement sections, and you can find out the bingo bongo section where you can put in your guesses to what will happen at tier 1 stream tomorrow, and you have 5 slots you can pick in, and we will also be maintaining a leaderboard to see who is the greatest mind of them all. And as we are live in our race and people are forming up, people are going for the formation lap, we have 13 drivers. So Starmaxlord, I reckon in for a really good shot, round 1.
Dude. Oh, what's up? Okay, Lemon. We'll have to see if Aditya is brave enough to send one down the inside us. I feel that there's no point in doing it, because if he just stays along with you for a while, you'll just get PRS and overtake you back. From what we saw in TRX, after the first 3 pulled away, they had pretty much no action apart from themselves, and the midfield action was popping mad. So we'll have to keep an eye out for the midfield fight, because that can be rough down there.
Yeah, not to forget, we have Faizan in P3 who will be fancying his chances as well somewhere around. And then, of course, a B20 in the Haas, followed by Heisenberg in the McLaren. And Williams, I think, are currently leading the Constructors' Championships. Montero and his partner, who is not here, I think. And we have Abhi and Paras currently in P7 and P8, followed by the SSG Assassin in the Aston Martin, followed by Unleash, the second McLaren driver. Then, of course, we have Streeter, who was serving a quali ban, if I'm not wrong. And that's why I think he must have DNF. Then we have the other Ferrari, Shawshank. And, of course, running off P13, Abi Ferrello, who I believe is currently leading the Tier 2 championship for this season.
He very much is, and he needs to make a proper comeback, score some good points. Currently, even though there's 13 people, everyone will score points because points are given out to the top 15. But to have a strong showing in the championship, he needs to maximize each point, the points scored in every single race.
Absolutely. Montero currently P2 in the standings with 66 points and RB Ferrello P1 with 80 points. So Montero has a really great chance to, sort of close that points gap down while RB would be looking to put on a show and do the last to first challenge. So let's see how it turns out. And we are all ready and set to go. 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Montero has a really nice start. Aditya too, almost side by side all together already. Heisenberg trying to make a move. Aditya is going down the inside into turn 1. He sticks his wheel there and gets the move done. He is in the lead now, and Montero has fallen down to P2. The Haas of Faizan also overtakes Montero, and that's a brilliant move down the outside of the second part of the chicane from Faizan. The other Haas and Alfa Romeo also fighting it out in the midfield, and Montero has fallen down to P4 with this McLaren of Heisenberg also going ahead of him. And that's a bit of banging between the two Haas and the Red Bull of Abhi, and that's Unleash who has spun around behind them, and yeah, that looks like quite some damage for him. And Abhi is currently P7. Montero has lost 3 positions, and Aditya is dropping down. That's gone. Oof, that's an AlphaTauri of Aditya that's gone. Red front wing and Unleashed behind him also
Follows
has
him.
gone into the wall.
Both Unleashed and Aditya went hot into Les Moto, causing that to happen.
Yeah, that was a really chaotic first lap. I hope I covered all of what was going on. And of course, right now, as the situation stands, Faizan is leading the race, followed by Heisenberg. Montero, who started on pole, is now down to P3, and Abhi has maintained his starting position while the other Ravi has gained a couple of places. Shawshank has gained 6 positions, and as we are on board with SSJ Assassin, we are already in a slipstream train being led by the Haas of Abhi 20, and no one really fancying a move down into turn 1, and we are all clean right now for the second lap.
For now.
For now, yes, absolutely. And we have 3 guys in the pits already suffering from really massive front wing damage. BK19, Aditya, and Unleashed. And yeah, these guys. Oh, as Paras goes on the grass. Yeah,
one
he dips
wheel
his
with
wheel.
the
Yep. And again, it was really wide. Struggling away those tires. Might be boiling if he had some
From the dirty
moment.
air.
Yeah.
I think we failed to notice one thing. Shawshank has gained 6th positions and he is on the medium.
Yeah, going for the alternate strategy. We saw soft mediums going really decently as he went really wide there. As we see SSJ going side by side with Shawshank, pulling ahead of him slightly as we go into the Parabolica, and with Shawshank with the inside line has a big advantage towards him. And again, he'll be keeping the inside line for turn 1, and the Paras behind in the Alpine is also fancy. We are 3 wide on the main straight. Let's see who backs out, who chickens out, and Paras is really ahead. Shawshank trying to keep his nose in. Doesn't matter, and it's SSJ Assassin who finally gets the move done. Paras has gained 1 position, and it's Shawshank who climbed up to P6 and has now lost 2 positions in a matter of couple of corners. He'll be fancying his move again though, coming on to the Della Roggia chicane. Stays inside. Yeah.
If there was sim damage rather, there were 2 cars punchers and 1 car with a broken front wheel.
Yeah, definitely. Going 3 wide really takes some balls. Of course, you don't want to back out into turn 1, but then of course it's a league race. You don't want to be out just on the 3rd lap. So yeah, I think safe decision, I would say. As you see, the drivers have their DRS on now, and they will be hoping to stay within that 1 second time frame just to, keep some nice good pace.
We can already see Faizan build a decent gap of 2 seconds, so he is safe right now. All they have to do is keep it clean and and this race is currently completely in hands laid out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. 2.2 seconds gap already pulled. He has pulled from the guy behind him. That's Heisenberg. Montero has pulled a move on Heisenberg.
I think it's probably a
And
DRS move. Yep.
that's a DRS move. Yep, on the main straight, leading into town. On Montero gets the move done back into P2, and he'll be definitely wanting to get that
He gets a
P1
significantly
position.
better exit also.
Yeah, and he just runs away already. 6 tenths he has pulled off from Heisenberg. And the championship leader Avi Ferrello currently in P10. He started P13. And then we have quite a few close drivers, but then of course it's just because of the DRS effect. It's a train right now. We have the two Ferraris, Shawshank and Streeter, behind each other as we go onward. Paras, who is behind SSJ, who is behind Avi, the three DRS train right now. And Paras with his wings wide open, going onto the Scottish chicane. All three of them keep it nice and clean, not much bouncing off the curb. Abhi goes really wide, and that's gonna cost him 2 positions at least.
But he will get DRS off of SSA, and there might be another 3 wide moment incoming. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, absolutely. Oof, he really tried to squeeze Avi there, but Avi just, keeping his... Oh, that's someone gone wide. That's
Avi.
He's gone. That's a DNF. That should be a safety car.
Do you get oversteered there?
Yeah, I don't know. He was really keeping it nicely on the inside. He just went straight. I don't know if his
controller died.
Controller died. Yeah, might be possible. And Streeter goes ahead of Shawshank into turn 1. We still haven't seen a safety car notification yet. Interesting.
Safety car reduced or standard in? Should be standard.
I have no idea about that. Sorry, but I hope.
That should be a safety car out, but it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine.
We carry on.
We race as one, so safety car says I will stay in. Only single make cars on the track, so it's as we are on board Paras, and now we are on board Abhi as he's right behind Hasenberg within his DRS range, and it's going really nicely at the moment. 1 DNF only after 5 laps. Of course, we don't have too many races right now with us, but it's going to be interesting. Faizan has a really nice lead at the moment as Heisenberg fancies his chances into Parabolica. Decides to back off, and now he'll probably just try and farm that DRS and use that DRS to his advantage, which he's using fully, trying to make a move on Abhi into turn 1. Abhi keeps a nice defending line and keeps the position.
Wow, they actually went to defend that. That's very, very
just
good.
Flying down the outside of SSJ, and SSJ going right back in to get that inside line onto turn 1, but then Paras just has a better exit. Of course,
SSJ's exit was a compromise when he took the curb of the entry.
Yeah.
SSJ keeping very close to Paras. Now, I think... do you think it is smart for SSJ to make a move on this DRS state, or should we just wait for the next detection?
I think he should bide his time, because right now I think it's just Paras and SSJ, so it's gonna be a ping pong battle between them till one of them, till of course Paras picks, because SSJ is on the mediums. So I think it's SSJ should play the longer game, try to stretch those medium tires a bit more so that he has a fresher set of softs by the end. And as you see, Shawshank and Street are still sort of in a really close battle. The two Ferraris not giving an inch to each other. No team orders right here.
I think they're just gonna go pull each other along, because that's the smart thing to do since both of them are in medium, so they're gonna need that.
Yeah, as you see, Abhi just blazing past Montero with the help of DRS and gets the move done very easily, coming into the first chicane. And SSJ has once again gone ahead of Paras as well, so that's the ping pong battle continuing for them.
And I think it's going to be continuing doing that, because the gap ahead of SSJ is 3.4 seconds, which is very far ahead, and it's going to be hard for SSJ to pull away from Paras.
Yeah, Paras on the soft set of soft compound of tires, and a couple of more laps for sort of the peak pace, I guess, for him, and then they will definitely start to fall
And
off.
crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, onto the back straight where you get another DRS, and he will again be looking to get him into the Parabolica, of course. Heisenberg really close behind Montero, who is still within the DRS range of B20. Of course, the detection zone being just before we start the right-hander of Parabolica, and these guys are comfortably within 1 second of each other, so that's going to be DRS for the couple of those guys, Montero and Heisenberg. Shawshank and Streeter towing each other here and there. Still, they are quite like the gap between Paris and Streeter still hasn't reduced too much. It's still 2.5, 2.8 seconds thereabout.
Yeah, I think it's a DRS train for second place. While these two guys are just pulling along each other, so I think knew that. And there's a SSG and Streeter, SSG and Paris fight. So those are all the battles going on right now.
Yeah, of course, the timing sheet definitely says that drivers are closer eye, but then it's just, ooh, that's quite a squiggly exit for Paris there. As he rounds off, let's move on, and Faizan comfortably in the lead right now, leading with a gap of 2.8 seconds behind him from B20.
As you see, Heisenberg trying to stick close to Montero, going down the back straight. So Streeter is now within 1 second of Paris. So now the new DRS train, which is Paris, Streeter, and Shawshank. SSJ has managed to pull away from Paris.
Yeah, Paris has fallen behind slightly, so that gives both the Ferraris an advantage now. They'll definitely claw their way back in. And of course, Paris's tire will also be falling off now with the clubs done. And that would be an added advantage for both Streeter and Shawshank. It's a pretty straightforward race at the moment. A couple of position exchanges here and there. We have our 4 front runners on soft tires. SSJ Assassin with the alternate strategy currently running the highest on P5. Followed by Paris in P6, then the 2 Ferraris doing the multi to 1 as Ink says in the comments, and then we have Abu Ferrello P9 followed by BK19, Aditya and Unleashed, and of course Abi of the Red Bull Abi, who had a retirement coming out of the coming out of Parabolica, where he just lost his car and went into the wall. And RB Shawshank seems to have spun somewhere and he has lost his front wing. Oof, that's gonna hamper his chances quite big time. That's gonna be a pit stop for him. And Aditya currently having a 3-second time penalty because of track infringements. And they are going side by side into Skari's chicane. BK19 trying to avoid or just trying to keep position. Just cuts the second corner and gets himself. Sorry, that's not him. That's Shawshank getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Shawshank forgot to brake early because, let's say, with wing damage, you don't have as much downforce, so you'll have to brake earlier than the game tells you. So to brake earlier than usual, and most people forget to do that, so they end up getting a speeding penalty.
Yeah, that's the Ferrari master plan, as you say, just Binalas, and that's what Shawshank has done.
Let's hope this doesn't hamper Streeter's progress, as they were doing a good job in pulling each other along, because they both started in the bottom 2 positions, I think, or near the bottom 2, and they were pulling on each other and doing quite well.
Yeah, B20, as you see, is going a bit wide. The tires not up to the optimum performance now. Montero with DRS fancying a move into Parabolica stays behind him for the moment and will be eyeing his chances into T1. And he would want that track position as soon as he can, because then he would have sort of the advantage of pitting earlier than Abhi, and let's say, playing some mind games.
Oh, Monter getting close. Will he be able to get the move done? Oh no, he's too far behind.
Yeah. Also, Shawshank is on hard tires. I just noticed.
I think it's
That's interesting.
questionable. I think he's
Yeah.
just gone on to mediums and just try to baby them to the end.
Yeah. I don't think those hards have enough pace in them,
Because
even compared to old mediums.
you would have only had to extend like one or two laps, so I think that would have been easy.
Yeah, true. But then, of
I'd say that's
course,
a bad call from him. But let's see how it turns out for him.
yeah.
I now see Aditya on the back of BK90. It seems like a pretty simple DRS move. Will BK try to fight back? Nope, I don't think so. He's too far behind now.
Yeah,
That's a pretty cool camera, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, that looks like that follow-up cam we have seen.
The helicopter cams, yeah. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, looked really nice. Gave us, really great view of the action happening.
Carlos gets a 10-second warning from the oof. I've never thought. For me, in Monza, the only place I would usually get extension is the exit of Ascari. I don't think there's other places to get penalties. Is there? Where it's hard to avoid.
Yeah, I think Ascari, of course.
Ascari and at most maybe Lesmo too. That's all. Exit of Lesmo too.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's a pretty easy track to not get penalties.
Yeah, true. Because if you try to cut, you'll just bounce off these sausage curves. You can't really cut anywhere in this track. And of course, our leader Faizan has pitted in for a fresh set of mediums. Heisenberg was running in the top three as also. P4 has also pit in. So it's Abhi and Montero who have stayed out on the soft tires. And Faizan comes out P6 and Heisenberg P7. As we see,
if Heisenberg is able to undercut Montero and Abhi because he pitted earlier than them.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see where both Faizan and Heisenberg pit together. So let's see where they come out. What's gonna be more, let's say, powering overcut or undercut?
Yeah, because I remember in 2020, undercut wasn't very powerful in Monza. I'm not too sure about 2021. I guess we'll have to see.
So it's around 16, 17 laps for them to put on those medium tires. That should be fine.
Abhi pitted.
Abhi pitting just the next lap after Faizan and Heisenberg. Montero decides to stay out still.
Montero is really committing for a strong overcut, so we'll have to see how that plays out for him.
Yeah, he'll really be pushing those mediums by the end of his stint.
So Abhi is out of the pit box, trundling down the pit lane. Let's see if Heisenberg gets him. So Faizan
gets him. Yeah.
Heisenberg
does not manage to get behind. Yeah, Heisenberg is comfortably behind. So
were they close when they pitted, or were they not?
Heisenberg was a couple of places behind Faizan. I think P4, just straight off his SG Assassin. So yeah, there was around 10 seconds gap, or maybe less. Might be less.
Montero was the fastest first sector on 12 lap old softs.
That's something.
Did he get DRS off of? There's no back markers. How did he get such a blistering time?
I think he's just pushing. He might.
Yeah, I think he's dumping his DRS. He's gonna pit.
Yeah, he's gonna pit this lap.
Oh, he's dumping it a lot though. Would they have enough to fight back for later on?
Yeah, I think the braking zones are pretty hard if you consider turn 1 and the other chicanes. He's staying out.
He's not pitting.
He's going for another lap.
I think he's really trying to fight the undercut from them. Because this is the best chance for the medium runners to gain time on him, and Montero is trying his best to get out of that undercut window, if there is any actually.
Yeah,
because we haven't seen any undercut yet, from what I see.
Yeah, actually, the undercut, apart from Faizan, who had a couple of seconds lead, which he still has on Abhi, I don't think anyone has really pulled out any proper moves by undercutting, especially Heisenberg. But yeah, let's see what Montero does. He's absolutely turned on the charge button and he's blitzkrieg he's doing right now. As we saw in last lap, purple sector 1. He was just slightly less than 1/10th of his personal best lap. And that's something. That's really good from him.
So Heisenberg, this is a proper fight for P2, and actually not only P2. So the top from second place to fourth place fighting for P2. So we'll have to see how that pans out. And don't doubt anyone not getting P1 because that is still a very possible situation. After all, Montero is actually trying a very radical strategy as he comes into the pits now. So he's going for a very strong overcut. So it's really depending on his strategy.
Let's see where Faizan comes out. He is coming on to the Parabolica corner. Streeter, meanwhile, goes into the lead ahead of SSJ Assassin. It looks like Faizan is gonna pip him easily right now.
We'll have to see.
Yeah,
A
that's easy
cut.
Faizan. So the overcut not really working for Montero. Abhi also goes past him. And SSJ is in the pits. He has pitted quite early, I would say, for his medium tires.
So cost of that overcut 2 seconds of gap. However, he has 2 laps younger tires or 3?
3 lap younger tires to Faizan. And
Yeah,
2 laps younger to
Abhi.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see at the end if it's worth it or not, because an overcut really reaps its benefits at the end of the race. So that's
True. So, and of course, for the alternate strategy, guys, it's SSJ who is the first one to pit on to a fresh set of softs. So it's gonna be 12 laps for him on those tires. Interesting choice. I think he could have maybe stretched it for a couple of more laps if he hadn't had too much wear on his tires, of course.
True, but I think when you're doing medium to soft, if you're doing medium to soft, the softs will have a heavy undercut on the other medium runners.
Right on. So you reckon this is going to be a powerful strategy for him?
Yeah, if you're doing medium to soft, you should actually try to undercut.
Yes, he is doing medium to softs.
So yeah, you'll have to see. Very good. SHA was in the front with Streeter, right?
Yeah, he was P2. He was leading the race, but then he pit, and that means Streeter is ahead. And of course, Faizan, he's in a really comfortable position right now because Streeter would be pitting, and he still has a couple of second gaps to B20.
The Streeter is also trying to go for an overcut from what I think. So I think it's going to. The thing about doing medium to soft is they have a lot of options. You can pit early, abuse the softs the first few laps to get a lot of time, or you can pit a bit later and go be very fast on the softs near the end of the race.
Yes, indeed, and looks like that's what Streeter is planning to do. And of course, I think he will come out round about P7, P8, given that the gap between P1 and P7 right now is about 20 seconds, around about 18-20 seconds. So that's where he should be coming out, I would say rather. And yeah, not much going on in terms of action at the moment. People driving in their own safe, sane manner.
Yeah.
There's Pinalas right now, no front wings being donated anywhere. It's just plain old Monza where cars go brrr, cars go fast.
I think I failed to notice that SHA is in a really chance for actually even for the win because he is on softs and he's already in the podium positions net. It's already the net podium positions.
Yeah, and Streeter has pit, so that's P4 for SSJ Assassin.
Oh, sorry, he's not in the net podium position yet. He is in fourth,
Yeah,
so which is pretty close.
Yeah, SSJ is really, has gained quite a lot of time with the help of DRS as well on Montero, and he is on the charge with a fresh set of soft tires. And Streeter comes out P7. So yeah, that's where we predicted he will come out just ahead of Fabi Ferrello. And SSJ is right on the tail of Heisenberg at the moment. And those...
I think SSJ is really showing how powerful the alternate strategy is. Because the alternate strategy, the point is that you are going to be much faster than other people at the end of the day. As he makes a move on Montero down the second DRS straight. Pretty easy for him.
Yeah, Montero was probably not anticipating that he would get overtaken like this by one of the alternate strategy guys. That really hampers his plan of getting Abhi and Faizan. So, but that means SS is gonna be on a charge to get both of them. Already the gap between Abhi and SS is down to 1.2 seconds,
Oh,
and he should be within DRS on the
for the
next
next
straight easily.
so in the next DRS straight, he should easily win that. He's
Yeah.
properly using those softs to gain time on the people ahead. He is in a real chance to win the race.
Absolutely. Just at the end, he might have to nurse those tires a bit, but then, of course, the advantage he'll gain over the next 3-4 laps is going to be helping him a lot at the end.
The thing he needs to make sure is that if he is leading the race, he must not be roped into a DRS battle. Because when it's a DRS battle, anybody can win it.
Yeah, then you, of course, also, put more wear and tear on it as
True, a battle. And that's the last thing you need. Because the thing about softs is that while you're much faster, you wear a lot faster also. So while you're very fast at the end, at the start of the stint, you can actually be the slowest at the end of your stint.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we are on with Paras with Streeter right behind him with DRS on really pressure softs just out of the pits. It's his first lap, and he has his DRS swing open right now.
Oh no, this is the back straight. There's no DRS here.
Sorry, my bad.
So Streeter will use the DRS on the last DRS straight to get closer near the Sky Chicane, and this is a very, very easy.
Wait,
those
I think
softs.
Paras just let him by to get DRS on him.
No. The DRS detection zone is actually at the start of Parabolica.
Right. So it's Streeter, and he just probably wanted to stay in his slipstream. That's
He
why.
just has. Street just has the best tires. I don't think Paras could have honestly fought that.
Yeah, and now Streeter will be eyeing Heisenberg and Montero as well. And this is just already really close.
He's already on the tail of a bee. So it's another easy move for him. He's within 2 tenths, which is easily takeable here.
Yeah, and with DRS now, that's going to be easy.
It's going to be easy. I don't think we should try to fight this.
Yeah, he's still for the podium fight, and of course it's Monza. You can't discount,
Can't discount people crashing out.
Yeah, especially this corner. As Streeter goes ahead of Heisenberg, he also gets the move done. The two soft runners really going on the charge. Abi had also pit a couple of laps earlier for his set of softs, and it's Paras who is just trying his level best to be behind some of these soft runners to get that DRS, to be as close to them as possible.
The Ascari Chicken is really, really horrible on F1 cars because you can't use much of the curves, and if you're behind a car, you get some chronic understeer due to the dirty air. As it's a very heavy, you need a lot of downforce for that corner to take it nicely.
Yeah, as we saw Paras right there, even though he's on 8-lap-old mediums, not year-old mediums. So yeah, 8-lap-old mediums Paras is. So he gets back his position, and Heisenberg also has his work cut out. Streeter already up to P5 once.
SSJ is now within the 10th. No, within isn't the DRS
within
range of 5
range, yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
We all thought Faizan had it all sorted, but then SSJ is like, I'm gonna go Kamehameha, I'm gonna kill everyone, I'm gonna go get the lead. And that's what he is going really wide.
I think he did that to avoid a penalty.
Yeah.
So basically, if you leave the track, you need to make sure you don't gain any time advantage, or else you'll get a warning. And if you get 3 warnings, that's a 3-second time penalty. If you want me to put that for you, in a way for you, if Faizan is a 3-second penalty, he will be dropped down to P3. So it's a really, really bad ticket penalty, sir. Easy move forward.
Really easy move. And Faizan breaks really late and quite a bit of contact, I believe. There was, and Shawshank has DNF'd.
Safety car?
Yeah, sector 3, Shawshank DNF.
If there is a safety car, I think it's...
Yeah, that's his car stuck out of Ascari chicane, stuck on Ascari chicane somewhere.
So if this is safety car, should SSJ pit?
Yep, right there we saw Shawshank's car DNF. He's right on the track. I think
These guys are
SSJ
still
can
racing.
definitely-
Oh, no
Yeah,
safety car.
no safety car. Quite weird. We have had two quite big incidents, I would say.
Yeah.
Of Fabian Parabolic and now Shawshank on Ascari. So
I
the
think
game
those were like
says-
safely off the track. So I guess that game didn't find the need to call the safety car. Since they're both in like gravel areas far outside the track.
Yeah, that cat would have thrown. Sorry, my bad. That safety car would have thrown the cat amongst the pigeons and would have really put SSG under pressure what to do to pit or. Oh, as we see Paris doing his Pinala.
That is very sad.
Oof. And I think Ascari has yet another victim. I think he has kept it on track. Probably quite a lot of front wing damage for him.
Faizan, 6% ERS. He gets a lot from that one. From that one breaking point. Both
SSJ also employing DRS in bursts to probably remain,
Ahead of
that
him.
DRS. Yeah.
I think SSG must really try to get out of Faizan's DRS so they will stop pulling him along, because definitely near the end Faizan will start to catch up to SSG. So to make that harder for Faizan, SSG needs to pull away from him. Paras, I think it's a 3-second time penalty. Or is there a 5 second for speeding?
It's like a 3 second.
No, 5 second speeding.
Yeah, that's a 5 second.
5 second speeding. Sorry for the bit of a laggy stream.
I think it's just on this cards and nothing. Streams on YouTube. So as we see Streeter going really close behind Montero in Ascari, and
So
it was a really nice close following.
Last about T-Rex, we saw some mind games here, breaking so that we'll see give the other person the DRS. Nothing here though, no mind games here. All fair play, just pure racing. Streeter using his soft tires to get a better exit onto the main DRS straight is another easy move for Streeter.
Yeah, abundant amount of ERS for him as well, and yeah, easily done by him on the main straight into turn 1, and that's P4 for him, and Abhi just 2.9 seconds ahead of him.
Streeter and SSJ have really shown how powerful the auto strategy is. I'd use it tomorrow, who knows?
Yeah, you definitely have a what plan in your favor right now. So,
I need to go and practice.
Yeah, I tried and tested method, and Faizan trying his level best to be in that 1 second gap, but then of course SSG has pulled quite far ahead, 1.6 seconds now, and unless his tire wear is going absolutely off the charts, that should be a comfortable position for SSG to hold on.
But we can never tell, can we? Anything can go wrong any time.
Absolutely.
Streeter has a 3-second time penalty battle, so he needs to pull away so that he doesn't lose too many positions.
Yeah, as it stands, he will lose the position to Montero.
Montero, he's dropped to P5 when he started from pole. So this, if the positions remain like this will not hurt RB's championship fight much.
Yeah, Abhi is also P7 right now, so the gap will be less, but definitely Montero is not going to overtake him by any means. And fairly straightforward racing.
I think it's pretty stale right now. No one's in any DRS zone.
Yeah. Just nursing the tires, following a routine, left, right, go, zoom. That's pretty much Monza.
Yeah, Monza. It's a shame that F1 makes Monza look not as good, because we all know in GT3 it's a brilliant track to race on.
Absolutely, no carnage in turn 1, and it provides some really great racing opportunities. Of course, the Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 are really nice and tricky corners for the GT3 cars. F1 it's just child's play at the moment with
child's play, but
they generate.
We have seen people spin there, which can also be due to the dirty air that comes off of cars, which gives them a lack of downforce.
Indeed, and also the old tire wear, if I'm not wrong, that's going to play a part as well, especially Lisbon 2.
SSJ has pulled away from Faizan like we expected, and
Yeah,
this seems to be shaping up as a pretty easy win. Lap 25, all they have to do is keep the car nice and tidy, just be nice with the car. No, he has actually no reason to push. He should actually start to conserve his tires so that he doesn't lose too much time.
yeah. Plus, Faizan is already out of ERS. I saw just before Town when he was out of ERS. He has 50% ERS in his tank, and he might be eyeing a late move. Of course, couple of laps to go. He'll be trying to be as close as he can be to Faizan, and of course, he has the task of fending off Streeter as well behind him.
Oh yeah, this is a proper fight for P2 on track.
Yeah, absolutely. Streeter definitely wants to be
Finally
P2
some
on
action.
track at least. Yeah.
So Koushik is actually out of the DRS. I think his tires are starting to die. He needs to get close to them as soon as possible so they can stay with them.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
that's
not back within the DRS. One second DRS gap.
yeah. He's gaining quite a lot with the slipstream itself only,
Mm.
and Faizan is deploying whatever zilch amount of VRS he has left, but that's going to be an easy move for Avi, I believe. Faizan thinks about going towards the right, but it's way too early on the straight to do that. And Abi's comfortably past him, and now Faizan has to worry about Streeter who is on the first soft tires, and
Streeter has an abundant amount of VRS to actually overtake Faizan on.
Look at that grip he has.
This was a very 2019, a very 2019 move. Charles Leclerc and Hamilton going side by side through Curva Grande.
Yeah, true, indeed. But then
At least the Ferrari didn't push off the car.
Yeah, true. I thought it's gonna be more dramatic right now with
Yeah.
Faizan and Streeter, but of course the soft tires showing their advantage. Now, what Streeter would be hoping to at least stay 3 seconds ahead of Montero at least. It's gonna be difficult to gain 3 seconds on Faizan, of course. But yeah, it's currently
He's already
SSJ.
3 seconds ahead.
Yeah, it's currently SSJ who is comfortably in the lead, followed by Avi. But Streeter is planning to get Avi right here, and he should get Avi into T1.
So Abhi is hanging on to Streeter for dear life as a safety cushion between him and Faizan. Because he has no reason to pull away from Streeter because he has a penalty. So right now Streeter is Abhi's safety cushion of Abhi's second place.
Yeah, so as we are on the final lap right now, we have an intense battle between Abhi, Streeter and Faizan. And Streeter has a really great exit and goes
down the inside.
Yes, down the inside into De La Roche. There's slight contact, and that's Faizan. That's Abhi, sorry, who spun around, loses his traction, and Faizan goes ahead of him. They're still fighting. Faizan tips him.
Aggressive from Faizan.
Yeah, that's really cutting across and into out of the Lismo 2. And Abhi will be getting the DRS right now.
He will not be happy with Streeter for that. Do you think Streeter left enough space for Abhi?
I think it was a fair move, just that the corner is like that, where of course the car has to turn. You can't really go really wide out of the.
He technically did leave enough space for Abhi to place one tire on the track.
Absolutely, and it's meanwhile as we round off. Again, the battle is still going on, but of course, nothing to take away from SSJ Assassin, who finishes P1, a brilliant drive, a brilliant alternate strategy for him. Streeter finishes P2 on track but gets bumped down to P4 because of 3-second time penalty.
4,000
finishes P2, and that's Avi. Yeah, as you mentioned, 4,000s behind Faizan. That last lap spin.
Heart-wrenching.
Yeah, that last lap spin really hurt Avi. Montero finishes P5 after starting on pole position. Heisenberg finishes P6. Then we have Abi Ferrello, the current championship leader, P7, followed by Aditya, P8, PK19, P9, Alish BK19 rounding off the Parabolica right now. No early celebrations, as we all know, because we have had quite a history of people weaving around in celebration and dying on the start finish straight. So I hope he
Disappointing
finishes.
race for Perez. He was solidly in the P6 area, and he made some careless mistakes to bump him down to P11.
Yeah, and that's the final finishing was. I see all the cars, just a couple of DNFs, Shawshank and Abhi it was, I think, the other Abhi. Yeah.
So, proper drive from RB to complete damage limitation, starting from last place, finishing P7, only 2 positions down his main rival. So, not too bad from him.
Yeah, great drive, and of course, nothing to take away from SSG Assassin. What a drive from him. And yep, as we see the final standings, we have SSJ Assassin finishing P1, followed by Faizan, who had a really great start into lap 1. And we just run through all of that. Thank you, Kipal.
Really clean race of Pfizer. I think I only saw one warning from him actually. That's really good.
Yeah, not
And
much.
RB, no warnings at all.
Yeah, not much of, killing here and there, which might have been the case in TRX. Really, it was a.
So the TRX had a lot more action though. If you guys want to go check out a TRX stream, a lot of proper built wheel fighting.
Yeah, true. This was fairly clean and fairly easy overtakes. Just we had a couple of overtakes going side by side, and of course, SSJ was part of a few of them. And we'll be getting all our podium finishes for the interview right now. And we are joined by our race winner, SSJ Assassin. Dan, what's up? That was a brilliant race from you. That alternate strategy really worked out.
Thank you, guys. Well, my plan initially was to go for the soft and mediums, but I kept invalidating all my laps on softs, and I did not have any time left, so I just thought, why not go on the mediums now at this point. I wanted to save that extra set of soft just in case there was a safety car, so I didn't use all 3 sets of softs I got in quali. Apart from that, yeah, it was a brilliant drive from my part as well, to ensure that I kept my my race clean for the most part, and yeah, I'm just happy that my strat worked out. One of the highlights of my of today's race for me was myself and 2 other drivers. We were going 3 wide through.
Yeah, we saw that.
Absolutely,
through the straight, and I was losing it. I was losing it, and I don't know. I really don't know how I made it. In the front out of that chicane. It was one of the craziest moments I've had in IRC, like my history of IRC.
What is it saying that people say when it's a happy accident that it works out well for you? I forgot what they say for that.
Of course, it worked out for me. It was by accident though. I did not put much practice into this race, and I'm quite surprised that I made it into the top step itself.
Yeah. Brilliant drive from you, man.
Thank you.
Alright, now we move on to Abhi. Abhi, how was the race, man?
Yeah, it was a decent race.
So, talk us through your race. What happened in the last lap when you're fighting with Streeter?
Yeah, basically he dive bombed me, and okay, it was a bit too harsh, but even I was a bit careful with him, so I lost to Faizan. But it's my first podium, so I was being careful.
You still, a brilliant drive from you to take that podium. You're constantly up there fighting with people. No mistakes from you actually throughout the race. So, good job.
Yeah,
anything
thanks,
else
man.
Yeah,
I had to tell you all one thing. While driving, I had a radio message saying that all my tire pressures are showing 0.
Cody's moment.
Yeah.
You have anything to add on, Kaake?
No, I was just wanted to say a bit unlucky, of course, in the final lap, but again, really nice
Yeah.
work from you.
No, that was on my side as well. I could have been a bit more aggressive, but yeah, I learned.
Yeah, I must have heard being 4,000 from P2. But still,
Yeah.
first podium. Good
Yeah,
job.
man. Thanks.
All right.
First, we have Faizan with us who finishes P2. Faizan, really nice opening lap for you, especially getting up to P1 straight out of the bat. And then you just kept it, just that Dan's alternate strategy proved to be really powerful. How was your race?
I did get the lead on the lap one, but I knew from the beginning that P3 is what I was targeting. I knew Assassin and Streeter were on the alternate strategy, so I knew they will come back at the end. And when at the end, I think I let Assassin go, I didn't fight him because I knew there's no point fighting him. And then when Streeter came in, when Abhi overtook me, then Streeter was about to overtake. Then I was analyzing, like I was thinking, like should I let Streeter go or should I fight him? And then I gambled, like I think Streeter is going to take Abhi out, so that's my best chance of getting P2. So I just let him go, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, predicting the future right there, and just 4,000 separating you and Abhi. And congrats, man. That's beautiful for you. Nice drive from you overall. So, yeah, that winds up our podium interviews. We have had a cracker of a race this time around. This is just showing how powerful the alternate strategy is. And let's see what our Tier 3 and Tier 1 boys will do tomorrow. So, of course, don't forget to tune in the afternoon for Tier 3 race at 2:30 p.m. And of course, fastest boys go against each other at 8 o'clock, same time as our Tier 2 stream tomorrow, Sunday, 8 p.m. And I hope to see you all there. And yeah, any other comments, Max or Kapil?
Bro, a brilliant race from the Tier 2 people and a brilliant race from everyone so far. So let's see how Tier 3 and Tier 1 show. Let's see if there's any more action, any more carnage, any more heart in mouth kind of moments.
Yep, absolutely. So that's it from our end. Thank you guys for tuning in for Tier 2 race. It's been a pleasure commentating on this one. And we hope to see you all tomorrow. Goodbye and cheers.
Bye. Good night.